Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, what I'll be sharing with you is how I solve some of the application security challenges created by Thir Water. So Thir Water actually created a few source code review challenges. So I will attempt to solve first challenge that he created in today's video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first, let's click on the AppSec challenges and challenge number 1. So firstly, I will attempt to explain what the code is actually trying to do, and then I solve it myself. And afterwards, I will see whether it matches the solution provided by him. So this is the code he has provided. So let's take a look. So what I'll be doing is I'll be using the Visual Studio Code to run this source code. So this is the code that is provided by him. So let me try to explain what it does. So first, is actually using a Flask. So Flask is actually a framework for web applications written in Python. So as you can see here, it actually imported some Flask library. So this is some of the modules that he has imported. And he also imported some logging libraries as well. So this is the first time I'm using Flask. So if there are certain things that I didn't explain clearly, please pardon me. And basically this portion is initializing the Flask app. And this is for logging purposes, so we'll ignore this for now. And there are a few functionalities. So first function is authenticated user. So basically, this function is to check whether this user is authenticated user or not. So in this case, it's actually returning true. So no matter once we run this function, it will always return true. And there are some routes that has also been created. Basically, it tells you what is the designated endpoints and what functions or methods will be run under these endpoints. So in this case, by default homepage, it will actually run this homepage functionality. So let's take a look exactly what it's doing here. So this homepage functionality is that if first it will check whether this is an authenticated user. If it is not an authenticated user, if it is not an authenticated user, it will run the following code. So first it will log that is an unauthorized access attempt, and then it will redirect the user to the URL for the login page. So if you go to the bottom, this is where you see the login page. So you return this message, this login page message. Now over here, this piece of code is for the redirect URL, which I will probably go into that later on. But just take note that we can actually use a redirect URL parameter and then specify the redirected URL. And if the user is an authenticated user, if it returns true, then it will return the welcome to homepage. Okay. So let's run this app itself to see what it does. So you can just run this code over here. So as you can see here, it's running on this port 5000. So if we go to this browser, let's take a look. So as you can see here, is actually an authenticated user. That's why it's showing this page, because earlier on we have written this function as true. Okay, so you can see that it's running correctly. Now that's one way of running this app itself in Visual Studio Code. So if you want to run through a terminal, you can also do so, because it's actually Python code, so you can just run using Python. So you just put Python and we run it one more time. So you can see here, is able to run as well. So we go back here, you can see the app is running. So now let's explore what does the redirect URL do. So earlier on, we see that there's actually a redirect URL parameter. So what we want to do is we put question mark. Basically, this is the query string. Basically allows you to query different part of the endpoints in a web page. So you could have a profile page, it could be a contact us page, and things like that. So in this case, there's actually a redirect URL parameter. So let's say I want to redirect user to the google.com. So I put google.com, and you can see it's redirected to the google.com. So here lies an issue. Because this URL is publicly available, so anyone knows this URL because it's the URL of that particular app. If the user put the redirect URL to the page that's controlled by the malicious actor, then that would be an issue. But let's say HTTP attacker.com. So in this case, it's actually redirecting to a attacker control page. So that could be a phishing page, a page that disguises like a banking app or banking web page that makes the user think that actually they are logging to a legitimate website, but actually it's a attacker control website. And from there, user can actually collect data, credentials keyed by the user and compromise their accounts. So how can the attacker actually deliver this URL to the user in the first place? It could be through an email or it could be through a text message. And the unsuspected user might just click the link and be redirected to the attacker page. And because it actually comes after a legitimate website, a legitimate URL. In this case, is this URL. The user might think that, actually this is a legitimate source. I trust it, and I'm willing to give my details to the website. So that is an issue, and that is where we call the open redirect vulnerability. Because the redirect URL is open, you can redirect to any URL that the attacker specify. So how can we actually mitigate this? So there are 3 ways that we can do this. So first, we actually remove the redirect URL. We don't even allow user to use this parameter, this redirect URL parameter. Once login, they will be redirected to a designated page. So the second method is we actually have an allowed list, means we have a list of a URL that is whitelisted. So if the URL is not within this list, it will not be able to redirect. And the last method is a fixed domain, means that we actually trust this domain. So whatever pages that is being redirected to under this domain is trusted and it can be redirected to all those endpoints. Okay, so let's take a look at how we can implement all these mitigation techniques. So the first method that I mentioned just now is that we actually remove the parameter. We remove the redirect URL. So as you can see here, once the user is authenticated, you will be redirected immediately to the profile page. Okay, so it's very straightforward. It does not allow user to actually make use of the redirect URL. But the downside of using this method is that if, let's say, the user is clicking on the contact us page and it prompts the user to actually log in. So once login, it will be redirected to the profile page. And in order to go to the contact us page, the user has to click on the contact us page again. So in terms of user experience, that might not be ideal. Nevertheless, let me show you how it works. So let me save and then let me run. So it's running now. So let's go back to our run it. Okay, so you can see this is your profile page. So because this user has been authenticated, which we already written through, so it will show them this profile page. You redirect user to the profile page. So as simple as that. So if you want to even put in the redirect URL, you can't do it because we don't even have this parameter in the first place, right? So that's the first method. So the second mitigation method, let's take a look. Let me comment this out. So the second method is the implement allow list. Basically over here, you can see that we actually is allow user to actually get we allow the app to get argument. So if there's a redirect URL argument, you will take the value and then redirect user to that URL. So we also have allowed these. So these are the list of URLs that is permitted to be redirected to. So profile page, contact details, because this is from a trusted source, so is trustworthy. So we only allow user to be redirected to all these endpoints. So if the redirect URL is in the allow list, then it can be redirected to that URL. And basically, this is just saying that if it's a authenticated user, then you'll be welcome to the homepage. Okay, so let's see how it works. Okay, so it's working now. So let's go back here. So as you can see here is welcome to the homepage. So this, assuming that this is an authenticated user. Now, if let's say we want to redirect user to google.com, so first, cannot be redirected. Now, if let's say we want to redirect to a particular endpoint, like a profile page. So at the bottom, you can see that we actually have a profile page. So this simulated profile page, you return this profile page message. So let's see whether we can do that. So as you can see here, it's able to redirect to the page itself because it's in the allowed list. Okay. So that is the second method. Now let's take a look at the third method. So for the second method, we realize that actually you have to specify specifically what are the URLs or what are the pages that is being allowed be redirected to. So if the owner feels that actually I don't want to be so tedious, as long as I trust the domain, whatever pages that is under the domain, I can allow it to be redirected to. So it depends on the owner of the website. Which source does it trust? So if you trust the domain itself, we can just implement a fixed domain, which comes to my third method. So in my third method, I have an allowed domain. In this case, is this particular domain. And over here, I also have a URL pass function for this redirect URL. Basically, this function allows you to break the URL into different sections. So you could break into a scheme and a network location. So the scheme in this case is the HTTP. So in this case, it checks for whether it's a HTTP, or you also could check or whitelist that it only allows HTTPS. So it's up to you. And this particular function checks checks for the network location. So it will break the redirect URL into different sections. So I only want to check the network location, which is in this case this one. Okay, so in like a domain name, so it's like a www.google.com, something like that. So if the scheme is equal to HTTP and the network location is equal to the allowed domain, this case is this one, then you can redirect to that URL. Okay. So let's see how we can do that. So let me stop and then run again. Let me run one more time. Okay, so it's running now. Let's go back here. So let's attempt to run the redirect URL again. So let's see if we can go to google.com. So we can't. So let's see if we can go to profile. Right, okay, so we can go to that. So let's see whether we can go to contact us details. Right. So cannot. So let me see. You can see not found because so you recognize the domain, but the page doesn't exist. So it's a 404 error. So I also created another one that is over here. This is the About Me page. So let's see whether you can go to that page itself. Okay, it's a typo. As you can see, this is About Me page. So that is the 3 solutions that they have created. And let's take a look at the solution provided by Thir Water. So his approach is that first we clarify whether the developer want to redirect to external page. Okay, there's something that you can do. And it's really allow list the external domains. Okay, this is something that also I've done. So if they only want local redirect, they can do example a saver function that does internal redirect, such as flash URL form, or this one. I didn't do that. Maybe I should do that in the future. And you can check whether the protocol is HTTPS or HTTP. Yeah, so we can actually change. We can also do that. And the domain is the domain of the app, which is the third method that I've mentioned. All right, so I think I've covered most of the solution that I provided. Matches the one that is provided by Thir Water. And of course, there are some things that can be improved upon. I'll continue to improve it for the subsequent challenges. So thanks for watching my video. If you find that this video is helpful to you, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video.